Hey Mark, it's James from PADI. You're from the Divezone in Melksham, is that right?
Yep.
Oh good, I'm in the right place.
You are in the right place.
Excellent. So I want to have a little word with you about Eve. How long have you been using it?
We've been using Eve since April 2009.
Okay.
And when we first opened the Dive Centre, we were looking for a software program which would help us efficiently run it. Eve just basically fit the bill.
Okay, so when you say efficiently run it, what sort of system were you using before that?
There was probably shouldn't mention
I
it.
don't need to use names, yeah.
I can tell you what it's called, but it's called CyberTill, but it was an EPOS software, so it was a standard point of sale software system.
Okay.
And it was on a license, and you paid for a license and you had to pay for another license per user type thing, so each PC that you had to pay for it, and then also that they supplied the hardware as well, but you seem to be paying a premium for the hardware.
So let's get on to some costs then. The cost was favourable for Eve. What was the attraction?
Because it was on, you pay for a yearly license, so you pay what I would consider a minimal fee for your yearly license.
Right.
I think it was £333, but I think that's discounted for PADI members. I'm not sure about that, but
keep going.
It
Yeah.
was a reasonable cost anyway, and
Good,
we thought
good.
that you spread that over the year, and it was something that was just a good cost.
Okay, and when you first installed Eve, what was your process of installation? How did you go about that install
Well, we decided in 2008 that we needed something. We decided what we wanted, and so basically the whole of the start of 2009 was spent preparing for an Eve install.
Right.
And we decided to install the Eve on, so it was up and running for the 1st of April, so the start of our new financial year, so that we would change all of our systems onto one system, and the whole, basically the backup of the accounting and everything else would fall into line. So
okay.
we would switch off one system and turn on another. But we spent, like I say, the first 3 months of that year, first 4 months of that year, was basically installing or was downloading all the Eve, all the database. Basically, we were filling up the inventory database. We were writing all of the data for the courses. So we're putting the prices in, putting the flow in, putting the holiday structure in, and basically making sure that we were getting the VAT and the tax right on everything.
Okay.
And just dry running it as well, because as you know, you've got a training database as well. You do two databases, your actual live database and a training database. So we were testing stuff,
okay,
and then putting it on. So we made sure that on the Tuesday that we got it running, we could actually go and serve customers.
Okay, cool. So back in 2009, the manufacturers weren't really supporting the inventory side of the software at all.
Some of them were.
Okay, okay. Some of them were, but
Yeah.
some of them weren't. Now, do you find that you get the information you need from the
Everybody
manufacturers?
volunteers it on Eve, yes.
Good.
Everybody we go with, so the major players were getting Eve databases, stock lists.
Okay. And from a marketing point of view, how's Eve working for you in acquisition of new divers? What do you do?
Acquisition of new divers, tricky question. Not really sure. A lot of that's down to our existing marketing. A lot of it, I would say, comes down to word of mouth. So I think the best advertising that you can get is keeping your existing customers happy, and they will tell their friends and family and this sort of thing. And what Eve allows us to do is to fulfil that requirement readily and easily,
okay,
by keeping the existing customers happy, serviced, and just all ticking along quite nicely.
So with that regular communication that Eve gives you, can you give me an example of a communication that you see adding to your revenue? An example of a communication that's worked?
The obvious one would be the servicing.
Servicing, okay.
So part of what we set up on the data is you set the servicing schedules for certain items, so stock items, a regulator is serviceable. You set all this up on the back end of the Eve system. So you set your service interval, so at 12 months, so someone will come in, we will book a regulator in, we will take the serial numbers, we will take everything, all the details, customer details, we will service the item, and that goes all onto the database. The next time it's serviced, I think it's 30 days notice we got it set up, we will email that customer to say that their regulator is due a service.
Right.
And the same applies for, you can set up like an O2 cleaning stock item for cylinders. We got the same with that, which we just changed onto a 15-month rotation. You've also got the cylinder servicing for air gun cylinders and scuba cylinders, so they're on a 2.5-year or a 5-year service interval, and the same thing applies. The customer will automatically get an email to tell them that it's due a service. and so you've basically got to capture that customer, because you can virtually guarantee that they'll bring it back here.
Are you doing anything with a newsletter mailing or anything?
Yes, we do a newsletter every month as a rule. We try to not saturate them with newsletters, but keep them, I think John calls it warm touches now, but we tend to try and keep people just not sort of in the loop really, and just so that they don't, it's obviously branding, you're trying to keep the brand in people's heads and so they don't forget about things. Obviously we haven't had a very good summer, but we're still keeping people coming through the door by making sure that they know what's available. If there's new stuff out, we'll make it available. And make it known what's going on. Also there's stuff when we change the dive centre, we use a lot of the emails just to say, okay, so for instance we've got a coffee machine going in the next couple of days. Once that's in, everybody will get an email for that. We do the club stuff, so you can split your customer database down into specific customers, so you've got club members, old club members, all this sort of thing, so you can target your emails a lot better as well.
So let's imagine your business without Eve for a moment.
No, I wouldn't like to.
Okay, it just won't work.
It would work, but it would be hard work, definitely. I'd seriously, I know it's a bit of a bold statement, but I basically couldn't do without it. That's as simple as it gets.
Okay, thanks for your time.
And Colin will agree with me as well, because he runs the service centre side of things, and it makes life a hell of a lot easier. And inventory control, just everything to do with running a dive centre, there's a system for it. I was going to say there's an app for that, but there's not.
There's a Colin for that. You have just live on video told everyone that Colin is in charge, by the way.
Okay, you can have that.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Take the blame.
Cheers.